I see. All right, well, why don't you tell me about these crates? Because I hear a lot of guys, especially new people, going, you know, if I open up these crates, if I save enough Godfather points, I'll get these crates. You know, was it 55 points or something crazy like that? And I think a lot of us, especially when we started new, we saw that as the holy grail. We said, you know, there's got to be some really good stuff inside here. I mean, otherwise it wouldn't cost so much. I mean, it just makes sense, right? So tell me about these crates and what do you think about those things?
Well, you know, those, and I think that's one of the things that people like about Mafia Wars so much is the ability to be able to get all this cool different loot. I mean, people just love accumulating stuff, and it's not any different on Mafia Wars. And I'm going to be completely honest. I've used some Godfather points before I really knew better to purchase an item or two, because this item looked pretty good, and I was like, I'll get that to make my character a little better. But unfortunately, they really don't, and if you use those Godfather points on other items, such as an energy refill or for skill points, at the end of the day, your character will be a lot better than getting a piece of equipment. And if you think about it, to have a fully equipped Mafia, you need 1,503 pieces of equipment. So one piece of equipment out of 1,500, at the end of the day, doesn't really make that much difference. And I still don't understand Zynga's rationale as far as the way that they put the points as far as attack and defense on some of these items, because a good majority of the items, and even items outside of the crates, because they have Godfather limited edition loot that they offer on a weekly basis.
Right. Most
of those items you can actually get better equipment in the game just by playing the game or trading with other Mafia members.
Yeah, the Cannonazzo and the TNT, those are pretty high loot compared to what I've seen in the Godfather loots. To me, it just doesn't make sense. But, you know, I guess maybe part of the allure is the surprise. You know, especially for the new people. They're looking for that new stuff. Maybe there's something special in there.
That's a possibility, and we actually go to a decent amount of effort to write a note and include screenshots of the contained content whenever crates do become available. One thing that I am not overly fond of some actions or decisions that Zynga made fairly recently here was they had a pretty cool promotion going on for 4th of July where they did this special loot around Independence Day. And then they did a similar sort of thing, but they actually changed the game a little bit with the Labor Day loot. And some of the loot was actually really good. One of the guns that they had via the Labor Day loot was the best defensive weapon in the game. But they kind of rigged the whole game where you can only get a total of 32 items.
Yeah, I think it was called Dillinger's Wooden Pistol, wasn't it?
Yeah, it actually was. But they rigged it where you could only get 32 of these items, and it was all done randomly. So there were some people that actually ended up with 32, and they didn't even complete or get one of each of the 8 items that was available. And before that in-game event was even done, they sent an email out to their fans via their fan email saying that they were going to have these hard labor crates that had the same items in there for people to spend in case they didn't get all of the items from the Labor Day loot events.
Oh, boy.
And I personally think that was wrong that they rigged the event. And then, I mean, I can't fault the company for wanting to make money, but the way that it was handled was, I think, could have been done a little better.
Well, I guess the big kicker is, you know, you don't get any special loot at the end of the collection. You don't get a special item. And, you know, if you look through the Moscow collection, the new Moscow collection, for instance, you collect all the, 8 pieces, you get a 9th item. Well, not true with the Labor Day or the 4th of July loot.
Right, that is true.
Right. So, okay. All right. So, hey, Jason, just to touch real quick now, you are the founder of Top Mafia and Top Mafia Disabled. We all know that Top Mafia Disabled was disabled back in July. Can you tell us what we should do to help get that page back? Because it's such a fantastic fan site. I think at the height you had 100,000 or close to 100,000 people there, and that was one of my. It still is my favorite site. Now that it's disabled, I go to that site. But gosh, he had almost 100,000 people there. What can we do to help get that site back?
Well, I'm actually going to have a note dedicated specifically for that purpose, where people, and we're actually going to ask our fans to send an email to disabled@facebook.com and appeals@facebook.com, and we'll have an email that they can maybe copy and paste from to make it a little easier for them as far as getting that word out to Facebook, so that they can review our cause, and hopefully these videos will help the cause as well.
Amen. Well, let's hope that you get that site back, because it really is a great site. It's just that it's temporarily disabled. Everybody's been kind of pushed over to your disabled site, and we really would like to see the regular Top Mafia back. So, all right, Jason, well, I really appreciate your time tonight. This is Scott Rendell, the Mafia Wars video guy, and I have Jason Yonkers here, the Yonks, as he goes by. We just talked about some tips and hints on ways to get better, especially if you're a newbie. In future videos, we're going to be talking about how you can improve if you're an intermediate player or an advanced player. So, Jason, once again, I really appreciate your time tonight.
All right, thanks again, Scott.
All right, take care.